But the weather is much better today. The temperature is 76 degrees. Skies are partly sunny. Only a 10% chance of rain this afternoon. Humidity is 43%. And the winds are from the southwest at 10 to 12 miles an hour. It is cloudier now than it has been all afternoon, but still there is no chance of rain here while we complete this race. The racetrack itself is pretty much hard, slick, and dry. The row assignments for the Holman Classic: row 1, Larry Rice in car number 1 and Mike Sweeney, car 5C. Second row, Johnny Parsons Jr. in 5M and Jeff Haywood in car number 8. Row number 3, Brad Knopfsinger in 391 and Steve Butler in 5X. The fourth row, car 121, Bobby McNovitz and Jerry Russell in 19. Row number 5, Sheldon Kinzer in number 2, Gary Bentonhausen in 15. The sixth row, Bob Mealy in 88 and Ron Schumann in 21X. The seventh row, Bill Von Helmut in 66 and Kevin Thomas in 2K. Eighth row, Tony Elliott in 57, Eddie Worth in 77. The ninth row, Jimmy Oski and Warren Mockler. The 10th row, Eddie Levitt and Rick Hood. And in row number 11, Terry Shepard and Bubby Jones. Back with the start of the Holman Classic from Terre.
Usac Challenge, I guess, is a success. Among the first 6 cars, 3 are Usac and 3 are CRA.
Sheldon Kinzer won last night just a few miles from here on a racetrack that's a little smaller than this one they're running on here today. And we had an opportunity to ask Sheldon about whether or not he had an advantage here this afternoon.
Oh, I think I'll have an advantage on all of them except Bubby. Bubby's run here a lot, and he knows how to get his car working here. But the other guys that never have run here, this racetrack changes in leaps and bounds, and it's really hard to stay up with on your tires and gears and changing your car.
And we have seen 2 very distinctive grooves here this afternoon, one high and one low, and it's going to be interesting to see who chooses what groove. Really, the high groove appears to be the faster one, at least in the last couple of races.
Yeah, it really has, Bob. A lot of the guys who have won those races have moved up there and found whatever cushion is left, but I'll tell you, this track figures to dry out significantly more during the running of this race. Now, the sun is tucked behind the clouds a little bit, but
Steve Butler starts in 6th position here this afternoon, and we ask him about setting his car up for the race.
I'm going for the cushion. It'll really have to be blatantly a no-way cushion bottom racetrack before I try to do that.
Steve Butler is 2nd in USAC sprint car point standings going into this event.
Now, keep in mind that it's quicker, or at least it's shorter around the bottom. It's longer around the top, but oftentimes it's fast. By the way, Bubby Jones has not qualified for this main event. You heard Sheldon Kinzer mention his name. He crashed hard last night. He substituted for Dean Thompson in today's activity, but did not qualify for the race. Some of the other people here who did well but did not qualify: Terry Shepard, John Andretti. Rick Williams did not make it to Terre Haute. He flipped real hard last night. Bobby Atkins, John Redican, and Dean Thompson.
We have 4 previous winners in the field here this afternoon. Gary Bettenhausen won in 1974, Eddie Levitt in 1980, Sheldon Kinzer in 81, and Rick Hood in 1984.
We mentioned to you that a lot of different people have won this race, but a lot of great sprint car drivers have never won the Holman Classic. Among them, Raleigh Beal, who is an official for the United States Auto Club. Charlie Masters once won a feature here, never won the Holman Classic. Sammy Sessions, Billy Casella, Steve Chesty, who now runs Indy cars, and some current sprint car drivers. Larry Rice, who starts on the pole today, Tom Bigelow and Rich Vogler. Those are the people among whom have never won the Holman Classic.
Just in case you don't know, of course, the Holman Classic is named for Tony Holman, who resided in the city of Terre Haute and, of course, owned the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well, the field comes down looking for green, and they get it. The Holman Classic, 14th annual, underway. Boy, it is a 4 and 5 groove racetrack as we begin this event. There's a lot of dust in turn number 2, but everybody makes it through nicely. Looks like that Jeff Haywood has grabbed the lead from his 4th starting position and is going to be shown as the leader of lap number 1, a dusty racetrack. In 2nd position as they come down, it is Larry Rice. Mike Sweeney working the inside is in 3rd place, followed by Steve Butler, and then the number 21 of Ron Schumann.
Bob, it really did dry out very quickly after that green flag dropped. You know, we watered this racetrack. We got a car slowing going down the backstretch. Some anxious moments there.
Like it's Gary Benton. No, it is Jerry Russell, number 19.
Yeah, he came into contact with Benthausen coming out of turn number 2. Before he slowed down significantly in the groove. I started to say that we watered this racetrack before the main event started, and it looked like it was going to hold up and keep some moisture in there a little longer than what it did, but it dried out significantly quick, and Jeff Haywood finds himself in a comfortable lead. There is Larry Rice running in second position, Bob, and they are already 7 or 8 car lengths behind Haywood.
You know, we've had a change in the weather here just in the last half hour. The wind has picked up considerably. It has gotten cooler. There is a chance of rain here later tonight, and so the shift in the wind direction could very definitely have caused this track to dry out very quickly. There's Sheldon Kinzer in car number 2, the third car on your screen, trying to work up through traffic.
Yeah, Sheldon's running about 7th or 8th. We say about 7th or 8th because things change so rapidly on a dirt track. And by the way, almost everybody to a man is running up high. Hardly anyone is running down on the bottom. Kinzer is one of the few people who's down there. We've seen Tony Elliott down there, Warren Mockler, but the vast majority of the field is trying to find that elusive cushion.
We had a shot there briefly of the number 121, or make that Brad Knopfsinger, number 391, running in 7th position. Jeff Haywood continues to hold on to the lead. The battle right now is for 3rd position. Butler and the number 21 of Ron Schumann are going at it out there in 3rd position.
Well, keep in mind that Ron Schumann started back in the 13th starting position, I think it was. Schumann is a guy who didn't qualify all that well, performed very well in his heat race, and he has, beyond the shadow of any doubt, made the most significant climb here in the field in the early stages of this race. We're only going to go 30 laps. I say only because it's traditional to go 40 in a USAC sprint car race.
Well, as you indicated, about the first 8, except for Gary Benthausen, have all chose to move high and use that higher groove up where the cush is. The bottom of the racetrack is just too hard and slick and not the fast lane. Now Ron Schumann does move down there, trying to pick up 3rd position from Steve Butler. As you can see, they move off of the 2nd corner, though, and Butler has the momentum to keep him in 3rd spot.
Schumann is really hooked up. He's trying all sorts of things to try and pick up and get around Butler, who is running 3rd. There's the number 5 car of Butler trying to hold on. Butler qualified very well. As a matter of fact, he was the fastest qualifier here. Schumann has really come on, though, and he's looking to find his way to get around.
Steve Butler and Ron Schumann battling here for 3rd position. Up ahead of them is the 2nd place car of Larry Rice, and Butler suddenly comes off of the accelerator and goes high onto the racetrack, and apparently something has gone wrong with that car. Could be a tire.
Well, the last time he came by here, Bob, I couldn't tell, but it looked like there was something dangling, a piece of the suspension dangling from the car the last time he went through turns 1 and 2, and as he went into 3 and 4, apparently it went away.
So the yellow is going to come out because of Steve Butler's stalled race car, and our first yellow of the race.
Yet there it is on the right side. You can see Steve peering over there. He was doing so well. He went into this race expecting certainly to be one of the people that you'd have to beat in order to win this race.
Well, here's what happened. They came down the backstretch, and just as they went into turn number 3, you can see there Sweeney going to the inside and Schumann to the outside, and Butler dropping off the pace.
Well, with the perspective, you lose the sensation of just how close it was, but I would imagine anxious moments there, particularly for Schumann, because he was concentrating on how to beat Steve Butler, and all of a sudden Steve unexpectedly slowed.
So Butler's car moving into the pit area right now, the tow truck behind it. I don't think he's going to be able to get back into this race. Well, we invite you to stay tuned for Auto Racing 85 through. Been completed in the 30-lap Holman Classic, and the leader is Jeff Haywood, followed by Larry Rice and Ron Schumann. We were yellow, or are yellow right now, because of Steve Butler's stalled car a few laps ago. However, he has rejoined the pack and is still in this race. The green comes out. No, it does not come out. The yellow continues to fly as they were a little ragged coming down for the green.
Well, Bob, this could be a real good one. I'll tell you, there are a lot of very exceptional sprint car drivers at top. You mentioned the first 3. Mike Sweeney is right there. Brad Knopfsinger, who has qualified so well so many times earlier this year out at CR8 in California. Gary Bettenhausen and Sheldon Kinzer. They make up the